There is a version of you the world has never met, a version untouched by fear, unmoved by threats, and unshaken by anyone's opinion. Right now that version is trapped, buried under layers of doubt, guilt and lies. Lies they fed you so you would obey. They told you to be kind. They told you to be patient. They told you to trust. But the truth? They never cared about kindness. They wanted control. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Society does not reward the dangerous. It rewards the tame and destroys the bold. But deep inside you there's a colder, sharper self. A self they can't break, can't control, can't stop. And once you awaken this side of you, everything shifts. You stop begging for approval. You stop explaining yourself. You stop playing by rules that were never designed to benefit you. This isn't about becoming cruel. It's about becoming untouchable. There's a side of you that doesn't belong in this world. The soft, compliant side. The side that apologizes when you've done nothing wrong. The side that bends just to keep others comfortable. The side that fears being disliked more than it fears being controlled. Machiavelli would tell you that version of you must die. Because the world does not reward kindness without power. It devours it. People don't admire your selflessness. They exploit it. They don't respect your patience. They drain it. Every time you give without calculation, every time you forgive without consequence, you broadcast weakness, and predators always hear the signal. This is why the first step to becoming untouchable is not adding strength, it's erasing weakness. Stop explaining yourself. No one deserves a window into your soul. Stop chasing approval. Their praise is nothing but a leash. Stop believing promises. People lie when it benefits them, and power is built by expecting it. You're not here to be agreeable. You're here to be unmovable. But understand this transformation is not gentle. It feels like war, because it is. You're fighting the part of yourself that was trained to obey. Society conditioned you to be good, not powerful. But good, in their language, means harmless. And there is nothing more dangerous to you than being harmless. Machiavelli warned rulers centuries ago, never rely on the loyalty of others. And you must apply the same rule inward. Never rely on the loyalty of your own emotions. The same heart that tells you to trust will lead you into traps. The same compassion that makes you generous will make you vulnerable to manipulation. You must burn out these impulses, not completely, but enough that no one can weaponize them against you. And here's the dark truth. The moment you stop being easily hurt, people will call you cold. The moment you stop being controlled, they'll call you arrogant. The moment you stop playing by their rules, they'll call you evil. Let them. Labels are tools of the weak, desperate to shame the strong back into obedience, into submission. Kill the weak version of yourself, or it will kill you slowly, handing your life over to anyone bold enough to take it. The new you must be a fortress. No one walks in without permission. No one sees what you feel unless you decide to show it. You are calm when they expect anger, silent when they demand explanation, ruthless when they thought you would forgive. That is when you become dangerous. That is when you become free. You've killed the weak version of yourself. Now you must construct something unbreakable in its place, not a wall built from anger or pride, but a fortress of discipline and calculation. Machiavelli warned rulers never to rely on physical fortresses alone. The real security is in a fortified mind. Step 1, stop reacting, start calculating. Most people are slaves to their emotions. They're provoked, they explode. They're insulted, they defend. They're tempted, they obey. This is weakness disguised as humanity. But the fortress mind doesn't react, it measures. When someone attacks you, you study them. What do they want? Why now? What do they fear if you don't respond? Every insult, every slight, every threat. It's information. Use it to understand your enemies, instead of giving them the satisfaction of watching you bleed. Step 2. Eliminate the need to be understood. The craving to be understood is an invisible chain. You explain yourself hoping for approval. You reveal your thoughts hoping for connection. But the more you expose, the easier it becomes to control you. The fortress mind is silent. It does not broadcast intentions, fears, or plans. Let others live in confusion. Because when they can't predict you, they can't trap you. Step 3, train for discomfort. Weak people break because they build their lives around comfort. The moment hardship arrives, they panic. You must do the opposite. Seek discomfort deliberately. Fast when you can eat. Work when you'd rather rest. Say no when your emotions beg you to say yes. The more pain you master voluntarily, the less power pain has over you when it's forced upon you. Machiavelli said, "A prince who depends on fortune is doomed. A prince who disciplines himself controls fortune itself." In other words, train now, so the world can't surprise you later. Step 4. Redefine betrayal. The fortress mind expects betrayal. It is not shocked when allies turn, when friends reveal themselves as enemies. When family lets you down, most people fall apart because they believe loyalty is permanent. It isn't. People are loyal only until loyalty stops benefiting them. Accept this as law. When betrayal comes, you won't panic. You won't shatter. You'll already be prepared. Step 5. Weaponize patience. The strongest man is not the one who strikes first. It's the one who waits until the strike matters. The fortress mind is strategic. It can endure disrespect without responding instantly, because revenge served cold and was always more effective. When you wait, you make them comfortable. When they're comfortable, they make mistakes. And when they make mistakes, you own them. When you build this inner fortress, the world changes how it treats you. People sense when you're no longer desperate for approval. They feel when you're immune to manipulation. And this terrifies them. They will provoke you, test you, try to drag you back into old habits. You will give them nothing. No anger, no explanation, no reaction. That is power, real power. Not the kind you announce, but the kind they recognize instinctively. You become the one person no one dares to push, because nothing they try works. The fortress mind does not isolate you. It liberates you. You can engage with anyone, and without fear, because no one has access to your core. They can attack your name, your money, your image, but they cannot touch you. A fortress mind protects you from being controlled. But protection alone is not enough. Machiavelli understood this. Power must be projected outward. If you merely defend yourself, people will keep testing your walls. But if you project fear, they stop attacking altogether. This is how you deal with manipulators, enemies, and anyone foolish enough to challenge you. Rule 1. Never fight battles they choose. Manipulators provoke you on their terms. They spread rumors. They bait you with insults. They lure you into emotional reactions. If you fight them head-on in public, you're fighting on their battlefield. Even if you win, you look desperate. The Machiavellian way is to stay silent. Let them believe you're passive, and then strike at the moment you choose. Destroy their credibility quietly. Remove their resources without warning. That is real power. Announce nothing. Make their allies doubt them until they stand completely alone. When you move, it shouldn't feel like a fight. It should feel like fate closing in. Step 1. Become unreadable. Manipulators feed on information. They study your face, your tone, your habits. The more you reveal, the easier it is for them to pull your strings. So you give them nothing. Do not explain why you made a decision. Do not reveal who you trust. Do not share what angers you. When you are unreadable, every move you make feels calculated, even when it isn't. They grow paranoid. They make mistakes. They start imagining threats that don't even exist. And here's the truth. Fear is most powerful when it comes from uncertainty. Step 2. Reward. Loyalty. Coldly. Punish betrayal. Colder. Power isn't maintained by being liked. It's maintained by ensuring betrayal has a cost. But this does not mean open threats. Open threats invite rebellion. The Machiavellian way is quiet punishment. If someone crosses you, erase them completely. No warnings, no second chances, no drama. They are simply gone. For those who remain loyal, don't smother them with endless gratitude. Offer calm recognition. Keep them uncertain whether your favor. For those who remain loyal, don't smother them with endless gratitude. Offer calm recognition. Keep them uncertain whether your favor is permanent. Because people value rewards more when they fear losing them. Step 3. Divide and control. Your enemies will try to unite against you. You must stop this before it happens. Machiavelli advised rulers to pit factions against each other. You must do the same, socially, psychologically, strategically. Subtly spread doubt between potential threats. If two people could combine forces to challenge you, make sure they distrust each other before they ever meet. A divided enemy is a harmless enemy. Step 4. Let strength be rumored, not displayed. The modern fool flaunts power. He shouts about his wins, posts his successes, and threatens loudly. This creates targets. Machiavelli understood. Power is strongest when it is felt, not announced. When you move, move quietly. When you win, let others whisper about it. Rumor makes you larger than life. People fear shadows more than they fear swords. When you project cold strength, manipulators avoid you entirely. Enemies think twice before plotting against you, because they have no idea how you'll respond. You are no longer defending your fortress. You've made the entire battlefield so hostile. No one dares to approach. This isn't cruelty. This is strategy. By making yourself untouchable, you remove the need for constant conflict. You no longer waste energy on petty battles. The world learns one truth. This is not someone to test. Step 5. Build an aura of power. Cold strength inside you means nothing, unless you project it outward. A fortress mind is a weapon, but like any weapon, it only deters enemies if they know it exists. Machiavelli understood this well. Rulers survive not just by power but by reputation. If people believe you are dangerous, they won't even think about testing you. Your goal is to build an aura, a presence that radiates calm power, the kind of presence that makes people think twice before crossing you. Step 6, who speak less mean more. People who talk too much reveal too much. Their fears, their weaknesses, their limits. The fewer words you use, the more weight each one carries. When you finally speak, do it slowly, calmly, without emotion. Never rush to defend yourself. Never over-explain. People will start hanging on every syllable, and they will fear what you're not saying, even more than what you are. Step 7, never show desperation. Desperation is blood in the water. The moment people sense you need money, need approval, need allies, need love, they gain power over you. Act as though nothing is urgent. Act as though nothing is vital. Even when everything is burning behind your walls. Project Calm Dominance. Machiavelli warned, the fear of losing power makes rulers weak. The same is true for you. The less you appear to need, the more powerful you seem. Step 8, let mystery do the work. An aura isn't built by shouting about your strength. It's built by making people guess what you're capable of. Be visible enough to be noticed, but invisible enough they can't figure you out. Show flashes of power, but never your full hand, because if they know what you can do, they prepare for it. But if they suspect you're capable of anything, they stay paralyzed. Step 9, use small displays of ruthlessness. Reputation is shaped by stories. Machiavelli advised princes, punish just enough to maintain obedience, but never enough to cause rebellion. You must do the same. If someone crosses you publicly, do not rage, do not debate, do not defend yourself, simply end their influence quietly, professionally, socially, financially. Make sure everyone notices, but no one hears you speak about it. One calm, calculated act of discipline echoes louder than 1,000 speeches. Guard your strength like a secret weapon. Control your image like obsessively. The fortress mind protects you from inner attacks, but your aura, that's how the world judges you. Dress with precision. Move with intention. Maintain eye contact as if fear doesn't exist, because for you it doesn't. Walk into every room as though you own it, even when you don't. People are primitive. Before they hear your words, they read your posture, your tone, your presence. Machiavelli warned, it is safer to be feared than loved. And he was right. Being loved makes you a servant to expectations. Being feared makes you free. When you project power the right way, you don't need to fight as often. People handle you carefully, like a blade they can't tell is sharp, until it's too late. Allies respect you more, because they know where you stand. Enemies hesitate, because they cannot predict your next move. This is not arrogance. This is survival. The moment you stop signaling weakness, the scavengers leave. The moment you stop signaling need, manipulators vanish. The moment you carry yourself like a ruler, people instinctively treat you like one. When your aura is unshakable, you're no longer just defending yourself. You dominate the space you occupy. The world whispers your name, instead of questioning your power. And when people whisper about your power, you've already won, but remember this. Power that isn't permanent isn't power at all. It's just a costume, impressive for a moment, then stripped away by time, temptation, or betrayal. What you've built so far, the fortress mind, the ruthless discipline, the calm aura of strength, must now become unshakable, not a phase, not a trick, but a way of existence. Machiavelli understood this. Seizing power is easy. Holding it is hard. One moment of carelessness. One lapse into softness. And everything collapses. To remain untouchable, you must live by standards that never bend. Decide now what is non-negotiable. Your time, your respect, your principles. Decide now what is non-negotiable. Your time, your respect, your principles. Enforce those lines without apology, without exception. Break your code once, and the world will sense the weakness. They'll keep pushing until your fortress crumbles from the inside. Guard your circle, as ruthlessly as you guard yourself. The people beside you either sharpen your edge or dull your blade. The moment someone treats your loyalty as cheap, they've shown you who they are. Remove them, quickly and without ceremony. Even kings fall when they allow the wrong people inside their gates. But the deadliest enemy isn't outside. It's comfort. Power breeds ease, and ease rots discipline. When victories start piling up, when people fear disappointing you, you'll be tempted to relax, to drift, to think you've earned the right to lower your guard. That's when you're most vulnerable. The wolves you once defeated will keep circling, waiting for the moment you blink. So train harder after every win. Raise your standards when life feels smooth. Live as though every day is an ambush, waiting to happen. Cold power must never sleep. Sometimes real strength means stepping back. The untouchable man doesn't need to fill every room or fight every battle. When you withdraw strategically, people whisper. They wonder. They can't read you, can't predict you, and in that uncertainty lies control. Machiavelli wrote, "Men fear what they cannot see." Become the figure they can never fully grasp. Even those closest to you should never feel total ownership of your mind. Be warm enough to inspire loyalty, but distant enough that no one mistakes your favor for weakness. Make them earn your presence again and again, because when people believe they've figured you out, they grow careless, and careless allies become dangerous. Discipline must become your nature. The untouchable man doesn't act when he feels like it. He acts because it is law. Mood doesn't matter. Anger, fatigue, loneliness, irrelevant. If you only stay sharp when it's easy, you'll fall apart at the first sign of pain. Train your mind and body to execute, regardless of how you feel. Routine replaces emotion. Principles replace impulse. This is how your power stops being fragile. When you live this way, strength is no longer a performance. It isn't something you switch on when challenged, or fake when eyes are on you. It becomes constant, structural, unyielding. People will try to test you, but there is nothing to test. They'll try to break you, but there's no seam to pry open. They'll try to control you, but there's no handle to grab. They'll try to stop you, but by the time they recognize your movement, it's already too late. This is the final stage, cold power made permanent. You don't announce it. You don't prove it. It's in how you stand, how you speak, how you refuse to rush, how you refuse to need. Power isn't declared, it's felt. And when they feel it, you've already won. Enforce your code, even when it costs you. It's about living as though no one has the right to touch your mind. Machiavelli's wisdom was never about cruelty for cruelty's sake. It was about survival in a ruthless world. And once you master these principles, you don't just survive. You reign. You become the man who cannot be broken, cannot be controlled, cannot be stopped. Power is not an accessory. It's not a mask you wear when it's convenient. It's not a trick to impress someone. True power is what remains when the applause stops, when the crowd leaves, when no one is watching to reward you. Throughout this journey, we've destroyed the weaker version of you, the compliant, apologetic self that bent to others just to avoid conflict. We've built a fortress mind, trained it to stay calm when tested, ruthless when necessary. We've crafted an aura that speaks louder than words, the kind of presence that makes people hesitate before they ever think of crossing you, and then we locked it all in place. So this isn't a phase. It's a way of life. If you've followed every step, you're no longer living for approval. You no longer explain yourself. You no longer let moods or fear dictate your choices. You don't need to shout. You don't need to threaten. You don't need to prove anything. People feel it. When they're in the presence of someone untouchable, they sense the discipline, the standards, the silent confidence that doesn't rise or fall with anyone's opinion. That is the core of Machiavellian power. You've turned yourself into someone who cannot be broken, controlled, or stopped. Not because you said it, but because you built a life that makes it true. The world hasn't changed. It's still filled with people who lie, manipulate, and push boundaries, just to see what they can get away with. What's changed is you. The version of you that could be guilted, pressured, or tricked is gone. In its place stands someone who moves with precision, who chooses words like weapons, who rewards loyalty but never depends on it, who disappears when it serves him, and strikes only when the moment is right. You've learned a hard truth. You don't have to be cruel to be feared. You don't have to be loud to command respect. You don't have to play the games others play, because real power isn't about controlling everyone else. It's about controlling yourself so completely that no one else ever gets the chance. This is what it means to be truly untouchable. You've cut off the handles people once used to move you. You've armored yourself against manipulation. You've stopped broadcasting weakness, stopped bleeding energy into people who don't deserve it. You've made your emotions serve your purpose, rather than letting them rule you. And you've accepted the cost, because there is one. People will call you cold. They'll call you distant, arrogant, even evil. Let them talk. Their labels are nothing more than the weapons of the powerless, attempts to pull you back down to their level. You don't owe anyone warmth. You don't owe anyone obedience. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You owe yourself the life you came here to live, and that life demands strength. Remember this, power isn't a moment. It's a posture. You don't get to take a day off from being disciplined. You don't get to lower your standards because you're tired. The second you let softness creep back in, the world will notice. And it will test you again. That's why this isn't just a lesson you watch once. It has to become how you move. Every single day. Quiet, focused, strategic, relentless. And when you live this way long enough, it stops feeling like effort. It becomes who you are. If this message spoke to you, don't let it fade as just another video you watched. Apply it. Burn it into your routine. Revisit it when you start to slip. When comfort tempts you. When the old weak self tries to crawl back. And if you're serious about building this version of yourself, brick by brick, then stick around. There's more coming. More tools. More strategy. More unfiltered truth to help you rise above the noise and own your life completely. If you're ready to keep building this ruthless discipline, to stay 2 steps ahead of everyone who underestimates you, hit that like button and subscribe. Not for me, for you, because every reminder, every lesson, every insight is another weapon in your arsenal. You've come this far, now it's time to go even further.